What if I told you that the old jars you're about to throw away could be transformed into stunning pieces of home decor that will make your friends jealous? You might be thinking, why would I want to keep old jars? Well, let me tell you, with a little creativity and some simple upcycling techniques, you can turn those discarded jars into beautiful decorative pieces that add a personal touch to your home. First, let's talk about the benefits of upcycling. Upcycling is the process of taking old or discarded items and transforming them into something new and useful. Not only does it reduce waste and save you money, but it also adds a unique touch to your home decor. Imagine walking into a room filled with beautiful handmade pieces that tell a story of their own. Now, let's get started with the upcycling process. You'll need a few basic supplies, including old jars, some decorative paint, a paintbrush, and a sealant. The first step is to clean and dry the jars thoroughly. This will ensure that any paint or sealant you apply adheres properly. Once your jars are clean and dry, it's time to get creative. You can paint them using any color or design you like. If you're feeling adventurous, you can try out some fun and creative techniques like ombre or marbling. Don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. It's all part of the upcycling process. Now, let's talk about some popular upcycling techniques you can use to transform your jars into beautiful home decor. One of the most popular techniques is decoupage. Decoupage involves cutting out images or patterns from paper or magazine cutouts and gluing them onto the jar using a special decoupage medium. You can use any image or pattern you like, from flowers and leaves to stripes and polka dots. Another popular technique is mason jar chandelier making. This involves attaching the jars to a metal ring or a wooden dowel to create a beautiful and unique chandelier. You can hang it above a dining table or in a living room to add some extra lighting and ambience. You can also use old jars to create beautiful centerpieces for your tables. Simply fill the jar with flowers, greens, or other decorative items, and you'll have a beautiful and unique centerpiece in no time. You can also add some decorative stones or shells to give it a more rustic look. But what if you don't want to paint or decoupage your jars? Don't worry, there are still plenty of other options. One popular technique is to use old jars as vases for fresh flowers. Simply fill the jar with water and add your favorite flowers for a beautiful and elegant centerpiece. Another option is to use old jars as candle holders. Simply place a tea light or votive candle inside the jar and you'll have a beautiful and warm lighting fixture in no time. You can also add some decorative stones or pebbles to give it a more rustic look. Now let's talk about some technical terms you might come across when upcycling. One of the most common terms is gesso. Gesso is a type of primer that you apply to the jar before painting. It helps the paint adhere properly and prevents it from peeling off over time. Another term you might come across is clear coat. Clear coat is a type of sealant that you apply to the jar after painting. It helps protect the paint and prevents it from fading or chipping over time. If you're new to upcycling, you might also come across the term distressing. Distressing involves intentionally creating scratches or other imperfections on the surface of the jar to give it a more vintage or rustic look. Now, let's talk about some safety precautions you should take when upcycling. Always wear protective gloves and safety glasses when working with paint or other chemicals. Make sure the area you're working in is well ventilated and free from any hazards. Finally, let's talk about some tips and tricks for upcycling. One of the most important tips is to start small. Don't try to tackle too many jars at once. Start with just one or two and see how it turns out. That way, you can experiment and make mistakes without wasting too much time or materials. Another tip is to have fun and be creative. Upcycling is all about experimentation and trying new things. So don't be afraid to get a little crazy and try out some unusual techniques. And finally, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Upcycling is all about learning and experimenting, and mistakes are an important part of the process. In conclusion, upcycling old jars is a fun and creative way to add a personal touch to your home decor. With a little creativity and some simple techniques, you can transform old jars into beautiful decorative pieces that will make your friends jealous. So next time you're about to throw away an old jar, think twice. It might just become your next big project. If you're new to upcycling and want to learn more, be sure to check out our next video on the ultimate guide to upcycling old furniture. In this video, we'll show you how to transform old furniture into beautiful and functional pieces that add a unique touch to your home decor. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.